It's 2025 and the layoffs are continuing as Warner Brothers swings the axe with quite some vim and vigor, striking 3 studios from their roster in an effort to streamline and, well, effectivize their content production strategy and to cut some very dead fat. As I've seen a lot of people ask why Monolith Productions, the creator of Fear and Shadows of Middle-earth. Surely they're a pedigreed studio, right? And they were also working on Wonder Woman, which is also now dead. Well, I think Wonder Woman was announced something like 5 years ago? If not 6, in fact. It must have been a disaster production, as the only thing we know about it is, well, things like the official trailer here, which is from 3 years ago. Oh boy, yeah, this wasn't going particularly smoothly, and it isn't even just that, but if we look into Monolith Production themselves, definitely there are some storied titles there. Fear, you've got Middle-earth, Shadows of Mordor, you have The Matrix Online. God, I'd forgotten about that thing. And, one of my favorites, No One Lives Forever. Damn, that was a fun game from way back in the day. But the problem, you see, is that their last game, Middle-earth Shadow of War, was released in 2017. Yeah, this studio has produced absolutely nothing except expenses and invoices for 8 years. Their storied pedigree is the only reason why they weren't axed half a decade ago, really. They were given a lot more rope than most, frankly, so their layoff is not particularly surprising at all, in my opinion. Because, yeah, if you're not actually doing anything, you probably should go somewhere else. Now, this also, of course, comes in the middle of a rather ambitious content strategy from Warner Brothers, where they have announced that they will be trying to do 7 new DCU projects each year for the foreseeable future. Okay, that is certainly rather aggressive, but bear you in mind, it might just be the perfect time for it as well. Star Wars is reeling right now, to the point where Kathleen Kennedy, allegedly for the 572nd time, I'm pretty sure, will be stepping down this year. Allegedly, big pinch of salt, etc. But Star Wars is not in a good place. Haven't been in a good place for a decade? It's been a while since Star Wars has been healthy, and right now, it's about as dead as can be. And DC's other primary competitor, Marvel, it ain't looking too healthy either, as whenever you see a title like, Did Captain America Brave New World bomb or not? Yeah. That tends to be an indicator that it didn't do particularly well. It had a decent opening and then immediately trailed off, showing that the superfans were still up for a Captain America movie, or perhaps they were simply misled by the title, thinking, Captain America! Then it came in the cinema and went, who the shit is that guy? Not too unexpected a reaction, frankly. So this may actually be a genuinely great time for DC, which has been laying down with its back broken now for a very long time, to finally commit to a little bit of a resurgence. So there are 19 shows we know of at the moment. Let's have a quick look at them. Superman is the big one, which will be coming out this year. And it does look like it might be, mind you, this is actually a return to Superman, as Superman, the Boy Scout character, an actually unironically good hero. I think that could do wonders to revitalize the DC universe. Of course, they missed an enormous opportunity to also get fan favorite Henry Cavill on the team, which is just mind-boggling, but I have hopes for this Superman, I really do. I also quite like Not the Batman Part 2. I really didn't like this Batman. I mean, I quite liked the Riddler in it, he was okay, but I really don't like this Batman. But this, The Brave and the Bold, this too, I am quite excited for, partially because The Brave and the Bold is an amazingly good animated series, but it's also going to be focusing on Damian Wayne. Now, Damian is one of those characters that nobody ever gets right, but the potential of a good, strong father story, raising Damien, who is a bit of a twisted son of a bitch, into an actual heroic character, could be exactly what we need today. So much promise there. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, I've read that comic. It's hot garbage, and I have no hope for it whatsoever. The Authority, don't even know what that is. Swamp Thing is supposedly a horror movie on deep, deep hold. Waller, this too. Waller is a fascinating character to me. If done correctly, you could illuminate a great deal of interesting philosophical questions. What do you do when there is one person on Earth that might be able to topple every national government across the planet in about, 45 minutes? What do you do? What do you do when somebody like Batman is running around with state-of-the-art toys that even the military can't replicate? What do you do when there's a guy that can move at the speed of light, just prancing about somewhere? What do you do? And how far are you justified in going? So, hopeful there. Peacemaker Season 2. I thought Season 2 was actually quite fun, so I'm looking forward to it. Creature Commandos released. I actually liked it. It wasn't too bad. I was kind of shocked because I was prepared to hate it, but I didn't mind it. Booster Gold, potential comedy gold, but also very easily to miss. Paradise Lost is supposedly going to be a Game of Thrones style show on Themyscira. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Lanterns, Green Lanterns are boring. The Sandman Season 2. Season 1 was a nightmare. Season 2 will be worse. Blue Beetle. Shit. Untitled Teen Titans film. Probably shit. Bane and Deathstroke. Probably good, possibly. Harley Quinn Season 5. Shit. Watching it. Black-Led Superman film. Probably dead, let's be fair. This thing has been in production for almost as long as Wonder Woman. Dynamic Duo. Focusing in on Jason Todd and I think Dick Grayson? Yeah. That could be good too. And there are also a few that they haven't mentioned here. The big one, in my opinion, being Starfire. See, yet again, I say that if the Superman show is a return to good old-fashioned Superman, if Batman Bold and the Brave is a strong and positive father story, then that will revitalize the DCEU. And when it comes to Starfire, this is the easiest slam dunk that could possibly exist in comic stories right now. Seriously. We've gone through like 10 years of intentionally uglified female characters, desexualized to the point where they're practically just dudes at this point. And here you have Starfire, a character whose entire design philosophy is basically to titillate. I mean, modern men aren't going to have any defense against that, frankly. At all. Now, the pitfalls are significant, as we've already got people going, comic fans are so racist that they want a black woman playing a fictional orange alien. Yes? She's orange. She's also a slave, by the way, that's in her origin story. And as usual, it's like, hey, this character's a slave. Let's make him black. Sometimes I don't know how the progressives think, but details. And she has been made black in the past, because every ginger, particularly every slave ginger, does indeed need to be turned black. And this version of Starfire was... I mean, a picture says more than 1,000 words, doesn't it? Yeah. But again, this should be so goddamn simple. There should be no way you screw this up. Starfire's entire thing is she's an alien who learns English by kissing people, alright? She has no common sense and just happens to come from an incredibly tactile race of aliens who view hugging and kissing and things that we humans might seem as unnervingly intimate as just day-to-day funsies. She's every single popular isekai heroine of the Catgirl variety who's like, hello, can I sit in your lap, Mr. Hiro-sama? This should be a undisputed, unavoidable win for the vast majority of the 16 to 20 demographic. There literally should not be any way to mess this up, and yet, of course, you know they're gonna do it. In fact, there's a somewhat similar character, Silk. I think, is she Marvel? I think she's Marvel. Silk from the Marvel Spider-Verse or whatever, right? Her entire thing is that she's a hot, incredibly athletic Asian woman who, wears a skin-tight suit and crawls on walls fighting heroes, villains. And the directors, the writers were like, God, we just can't find any way to make a story about a hot Asian woman in a skin-tight suit appealing to a modern audience. So when I say that there is no way to screw this up, take that with a pinch of salt, I suppose. But once more, the competition is literally lying bleeding on the ground with a broken back right now, and DC is kicking into gear as fast as it possibly can, whilst cutting as much dead weight as it possibly can, hoping to steam ahead and take advantage of their enemy's weakness. If there was a time to strike, as I've said previously, it is now. But that also means that this is DC's victory to squander. They've got every layup imaginable right in front of them, from a classic Superman story to a positive father figure, brave and bold Batman, to just good old-fashioned sidekick characters being best buds, or, well, I don't think they exist at the same time, but you get my general drift. They've got so many, like Deathstroke, a Deathstroke movie, who wouldn't want to watch that? Now the Bane one, in today's socio-political climate, could be, dangerous and, worryingly progressive. And again, Starfire, DC has everything set up just right for itself now. And only it itself could possibly manage to fumble this. They've managed to do so on every other occasion previously, though, so, yeah. What do you think? You think there is even the slightest possibility DC isn't going to mess this up? I kind of hope so, because I do actually quite enjoy DC, but we shall see. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.